First guest tonight is a global sports mogul who makes popular TV shows on the side. You know him from 16 seasons of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and 4 of his other very funny show. Watch Mythic Quest on Apple TV Plus now. Please welcome Rob McElhenney. Good to see you. You look like a kingpin.
It's so good to be. I feel like a kingpin.
You should feel like a kingpin. You've got the world by the tail right now, don't you?
Actually, I was just thinking, I love being a guest, but I really love hosting this show, and I miss it.
Oh, all right. Well, next time we'll just swap spots, I guess, because I have some questions for you tonight.
Okay.
Number one, well, first of all, I really enjoyed the crossover with Always Sunny and Abbott Elementary, and I love this. I miss crossovers. They used to happen all the time when I was a kid. You'd have Fonzie and Richie showing up with Laverne and Shirley, and it doesn't seem to happen anymore. But you guys, even though the shows are different shows and very different audiences as well. One is a family show, the other is not.
Unless your family is the Manson family.
Unless you are a member of the Mansons, which you'd be pretty old if that was true. Was that a fun thing for you to do?
It was. I mean, you know, we grew up watching television in the same era when television was really fun, and you would see those kinds of crossovers all the time. And I met Quinta a number of times over the years, but for the first time, backstage after she had just won an Emmy. Mm-hmm. That is a great time to meet somebody for the first time and to pitch them something because they're very happy.
They'll agree to anything.
Yes, and we had a really pleasant conversation, and then we thought, oh, it would be really funny if we crossed over, and then we got together and had a couple of ideas, and that was that.
I like how you did it, too. Did the kids in the Abbott Elementary actor kids know who you guys were?
No, except there was one kid who was there asking for photos with all of us, and you could tell that his mom was humiliated by the fact that she allows her child to watch.
She should be very ashamed of herself, yeah.
But most of the kids were all taking pictures with Danny, and we said, of course, everybody knows
with Danny DeVito, yeah.
Right. But he
so
wasn't.
They know Danny.
Well, no, they know Jersey Mike.
That's how they know him?
That's how they know him. So everywhere you heard Jersey Mike, that's Jersey Mike. I think that's Jersey Mike. That's who he's taking photos.
That's depressing is what that is. So then the cast of Abbott is going to be on your show on Always Sunny.
That's right.
When is that happening?
So that's going to be out in June. The way that we looked at the episodes is that we shot the same story from 2 different perspectives. So if anybody knows both those shows, Abbott has a very specific family tone. Sunny has a very specific unfamily tone. But we thought it'd be interesting if we told the same story, except told through the prism of each individual tone.
So we won't see the characters from Abbott Elementary cursing and being deplorable, will we?
Oh.
Oh, we will?
Yes, we will.
Oh, we will. Interesting.
Well,
wow.
We had to play nice on their show, and we got them to play bad on ours.
You of course, have a football team, as they call it. We call it soccer here in Wales, Wrexham. They're doing well, right? Very well,
They're doing
right?
very well.
Explain how that works again. If you play well, you get promoted
to the next league.
Yes. To the next league, the next season.
Yeah, we are currently in 3rd place, and the top 3 teams get promoted. We have been promoted already twice, and we're about halfway through this season. And
how many
If we do
levels?
this, it will be the first time in the history of English football that a team has gone up 3 times in a row.
Wow, oh, that's the first time in the history of English football?
If it happens, yeah.
How many games are left in the season?
About 20.
Oh, okay, all right, so you got a long way to go, but you're in
there's 50-some games a season. It's a lot of games.
And now you bought 2 more teams in, what, Colombia and Mexico?
That's right.
Do you have a problem, I think?
Yeah. Es verdad, sí.
That's a big jump, isn't it?
Yes. We just fell in love with the sport. We fell in love with just the idea of being able to fall in love with a community, and that community happens to fall in love with a sport that we love, and so we just become so invested in the entire experience.
But what if you screw it up and it doesn't go as well?
They'll kill you. They'll murder you.
Yeah. So, yes. Soccer fans are very passionate.
Simply, I would never say the S word that you just said. I have to call it football.
Right, you have to call
By
it football.
law, yes, trust
right,
me.
Right,
Yes.
but it's confusing if I call it football because we already have a football.
That's the thing.
Speaking of already having a football,
Yes, let's talk about that.
your Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. That's exciting for you. Will you? If they win, will you buy that team too?
I would love to be able to afford a team in the National Football League, but I don't think that's going to be possible anytime
Do you
soon.
think it might be smart to bring Guillermo in on this deal you have there with the What's the team in Mexico that you have?
Necaxa.
Okay, and do you speak? Do you habla?
Un poco. Vivo en Los Ángeles, entonces es muy importante aprender español, ¿no?
Sí, sure. Yeah. I mean,
Yes, muy bien,
I know
perfecto.
Sí, entonces ya yo aprendo que Duolingo también.
Oh, you've been on Duolingo. Have you really been learning on Duolingo?
Yeah, so
I've been on Duolingo also.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they bully you.
Yes!
Does anybody else? They have that little bird, and the bird is a bully and shames you.
They should put that bird in a blender with some mice and turn it on. Because I got bullied last night. I'm not kidding. Because
Yeah.
my daughter and I are learning Italian, or she's learning Italian. I'm not doing my part. I've had 30 days, and last night they're like, well, I guess you're not going to learn to speak Italian.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on? My mother is not this passive-aggressive with me.
And it will transition into aggressive as well. And
Yeah.
it'll do it in any language you can understand.
You are following, obviously you learned something here, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Duolingo, it does work. And also, again, living in Los Angeles, it's más fácil practicar porque muchas
Muchos hablan
personas
español.
hablan español solamente.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Exactamente, yeah.
Exactamente,
Exactamente.
as they say. Well, okay, back to the Eagles. The mayor of, I don't know if you saw this, but the mayor of Philadelphia is very excited about this Eagles team.
Well, listen, we've got to do this. Let me hear you all say E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
And that is,
Love it.
she's got to get on Duolingo for English.
I love that she owned it. She just kept going right through it. And she said the most important part at the very end, go Birds. That's all that matters.
Would you like to correct her as far as the chant goes, just for...
Wow, do we think we can get the
No, the
crowd
audience is
into it?
not going to join in. Is anyone from Philadelphia? All right, all right.
Okay,
All right, the
are we
ones
ready
with the
then?
batteries in their hands, yeah.
Everybody else can spell Eagles, right? Okay, ready? E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! There we go.
And then go Birds, right?
Go Birds!
All right, Bob McElhenney's with it. We'll be right back. We are back. Rob McElhenney got a season 4 of... I love this show, Mythic Quest. It's very, very funny, and I feel like it gets overshadowed by the teams you own and by It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia being on for like 28 years or whatever it's been now.
I think it's just waiting for its moment. I think what people forget, because the show's been on for so long, that nobody watched Sunny for a decade. I mean, for real, for 6 or 7 seasons.
I will say my son Kevin had it on in our house every week, so from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah. Well, you were the one that was keeping it.
We
on
were the
air.
2, yeah.
Nobody really watched it for 6 or 7 years, but FX really believed in the show, and they kept putting it on the air and kept paying for it. And eventually, it just sort of hit the zeitgeist and caught on. And I think Mythic Quest is just ready for that moment to happen.
You think that the title is misleading people?
100%.
Yes,
If I had
yeah.
a time machine, there's a lot of things I would change. But specific to the television show, Mythic Quest makes it sound like it's a cape and sword drama or something.
Yes, I thought it was going to be like a goof on Game of Thrones.
Yes, and moreover, even that, people hear that it's about a video game company, and they say, well, I'm not really into video games. It's not really my thing. And I always say to them, it's an office comedy. It really has nothing to do with video games as much as Sunny has to do with if someone says, well, I don't drink, so therefore I can't watch Sunny. Well, just because you don't go to a bar doesn't mean you can't, enjoy Cheers or Sunny.
Yes.
So we just, no one would believe that it is not about video games, that it is a workplace comedy. So we decided to just completely reshoot the opening title sequence for this year. So instead of a clip, I just thought I'd bring you the opening
brought
title
this for us
sequence.
specifically.
Yeah, and we're going to debut it here.
Here we go.
I think that's pretty clear.
I think it's really good.
I think that's pretty clear.
It's never been done before either, and that's one of the great things about it.
Yes.
So you're saying, like, even if you don't like paper or use paper, it doesn't mean you wouldn't watch The Office.
That's exactly right.
Exactly right.
Exactly right.
Well, it's very good to see you. Please give your lovely wife my best.
Oh, she loves you so much.
Yes, and vice versa. We played pickleball together a couple of weeks ago.
Yes,
yeah.
she's a killer.
We were a team. She's good. She's got she's very considerate too. Her pickleball paddle is covered with felt so as not to disturb the neighbors.
Yeah, that's a whole new trend now. It's not as loud.
And yet we couldn't even hear each other talk over the sound of the garbage trucks outside your house.
Oh, yes. You know what people love, the American public loves to hear celebrities complain about how loud their neighbors are as they play pickleball.
Rob McElhenney, everybody. You can see new episodes of Mythic Quest Wednesdays on Apple TV+. We'll be back with Katy Perry.